All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming live from our Joburg office. Good morning and welcome back to the opening bell with myself, Tshepo and Ashley. And this is brought to you by TD Markets and TD Markets Academy every Mondays to Fridays at 9, streaming live on YouTube. I hope you guys are doing well this Friday morning. We're going to get started. It is a Friday. We are wrapping up this week's trading. We are wrapping up the analysis. It has been a very good week, right? If you guys followed the setups we showed you, even from a month ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, you'll notice that this week, they've been moving, but we had more movements this week. So it has been a very good week. We're very grateful and blessed for that. So we're going to continue that and we're going to look at the cryptos this morning just to wrap up the week, right? And prepare for the next week. So we've got Bitcoin, we've got Ethereum, and we've got Cardano, right? Those are the three cryptos we're going to have a look at, but you'll notice that what we're going to talk about, it filters through to the other cryptos. All right, so starting with Bitcoin, we spoke about this, I believe it was Monday or sometime last week, and overall we are trading within a bullish structure, right? Although it had been moving towards the downside, although there's been these massive sell-offs, but the bigger structure is bullish, so it's much safer to stick with the bigger structure. So what we see on Bitcoin is a very simple one. All right, so first things first, we've got, let me go to the weekly here. Okay, cool. So we've got this zone where it seems like the market is really struggling to break past that zone, right? It spiked below that, it went back up again. It tried to go down to resume the trend, but notice how price rejected from that zone. So structurally, we've got a higher low, and what we know about structure is that once price forms a higher low, it is going to go up to the previous high. Now listen to this. Once price forms a higher low, then it's going to make its way to the previous high. So where's the previous high? This is the previous high, and we can also take that as our previous high. So what we're seeing here is a bullish Bitcoin that could easily go back to this previous high, which is around, let me just put a price there, which is around this price level. Should it break above this, then it's going to go back to that one there, right? And then obviously we'll come back with more updates. So this is how Bitcoin is looking. This week has been decent in the crypto market. We are seeing slow recovery after that massive sell-off. In this week's trading room on Tuesday, I spoke about what's happening fundamentally with the cryptos, right? And now you guys are going to see what I was talking about, that all that's happening is just manipulation. These movements to the downside, it's just pure manipulation. So what happens is these big boys, these big guys, right? We call them whales, right? These crypto whales, what they're doing is that they're manipulating crypto by selling, shorting the market with large capital, only to buy it back later on. All right, that's exactly what's happening. And I want you guys to do your research on what I'm talking about. You'll see that, right? These whales are shorting Bitcoin, are shorting Ethereum, only to buy it back later on. Now, there could be a lot of reasons why they are doing this, right? And we could have different interpretation. But if you are a retail trader, which you are, we are all retail traders. Now, as a retail trader, it's important to understand this and to align yourself with the money, to align yourself with where the money is going, right? Obviously, what I'm talking about right now won't be as clear as and simple as how I'm saying it, but it goes with a little bit of experience and just a little bit of patience for the market to create these movements for you to be able to see that, right? So we are seeing a lot of manipulation and trust me, we are not even panicking because we know once this manipulation is done, the cryptos will resume its overall behavior towards the upside, right? So what we're doing at the moment is that we're taking it piece by piece, right? You see how we are speaking about price pushing back to that high. I could have easily said that the market will most likely go up. I could have easily said that, but we're taking it piece by piece, taking into consideration what's happening around the world, right? You've got your trade wars, you've got the government shutdown, the US government shutdown, which is rumored to be coming to an end very soon. You've got, the US and China trade war, escalated, right? So there's various things which are affecting the cryptos, not only Bitcoin, but the cryptos as a whole. And then you've got, if you take a look at the crypto ecosystem, right, you will notice that there are various elements to this, right? You've got your indexes, different indexes that can tell you and show you the sentiment. You've got your fear and greed index, you've got your altcoin season index, you've got your Bitcoin dominance. So all of these things also can help us understand the bigger picture, right? So instead of us looking at this move up, we're just going to look at this move up until there, right? And then we're going to say, should the market break, it's going to go back there, right? Now, what happens if the market breaks this one? Well, it will depend how it breaks it. I'm not going to get deep into this, but it will depend how it breaks it, right? And then either we're going to go up or we might come back down one more time, right? Only once it breaks that high. Again, it will depend how it breaks that high. So I don't want us to stress about these movements. Let's focus on this one for now, all right? In fact, going all the way back to that high. So we'll talk about this once it reaches that high. So just keep a very close eye on this, right? It's a beautiful pattern. Look at that. It's a beautiful pattern, right? It's a clear rejection, bounce, and prices going up. We've got the demand zone as well, right? We've got the demand zone, prices going up. So clearly there's a lot of buying pressure around this area. So it's a beautiful price action, which we most likely going to see it pushing towards the upside. Now, also, if nothing happens over the weekend, because we know that crypto can be volatile, what happens over the weekend can affect crypto, right? So if nothing happens, then we're most likely going to see this pushing back to that zone. So keep a very close eye on that. And same thing with Ethereum, all right? Ethereum, this was the previous analysis I did on the trading room, so I'm just going to update this. From the bigger time frame point of view, nothing has changed, right? Everything is still the same. And what I'm referring to is this zone, not the zone, but this overall channel. So the market is trading within this channel. However, this channel is within a bigger bullish structure. So we are seeing this channel as nothing but a correction. All right. So now the market is also failing to break past this support there, right? We have a few spikes, but ultimately it's failing to break past that. And seems like there's a bit of momentum towards the upside. All right. So if I just do this, take this and then just update it something like this, right? In fact, let me just, there's no need for me to do this, but just to see whether we have a breakout. All right. So we can also track this move towards the upside by looking at this resistance trend line breaking towards the upside. I mean, this can be one of the tools we can use. All right. It really doesn't matter. This trend line really doesn't matter, right? Because the major thing is what's happening down here, right? So whether we draw a trend line or not, that really doesn't matter. So what we're seeing here is an Ethereum that could easily move towards the upside, meaning there's a higher probability chance that this is going to push towards the upside. Just a matter of looking for setups now. All right. So yeah, so this one, we've got that price level 4,292, where we could see Ethereum go back to. And then, in fact, let's have a round number like 4,300, right? That's a psychological number. That's a, psychological number. That's a quarters theory, right? It's a theory based on quarters. So we've got that psychological number there. We're anticipating Ethereum to go there, and then we'll then come back with updates. You're also looking at Cardano, the same, all right? Also looking at Cardano, the same, which if I just go back a little bit, it went back down to tap this low again one more time, right? This was the massive sell-off. So that massive sell-off went back down to tap this low one more time, and then we're seeing a slow recovery. So this one is going to be pretty simple. All right, you have this higher low. You've got that higher low there, right? You see where the previous low is. It's right here. Let me draw a line. This is where the previous low is. Now the market failed. Well, at least at the moment, the market is failing to push back down to this low. So there's a lot of buying pressure around this zone. All right. So now structurally, we are most likely going to see Cardano pushing back to that high, right? So should the market not change anything here, should this higher lows, hold strong, then we're likely going to see price pushing back to that high first. If it breaks that high, then we're going to be looking at this high. Then we'll come back and reanalyze and see if there's any changes. So that's basically it, guys, right? That's basically it. Merging the fundamentals with the technicals with the sentiment, right? Covering all three types of market analysis: technical analysis, fundamental, sentiment analysis, for you to not only be able to find patterns, but to also understand the bigger picture holistically at the moment, what is happening with the crypto. All right. So I hope you find this valuable. Let's talk again on Tuesday next week or Monday. And we're going to talk about some updates. All right. But if over the weekend there are some changes, then we'll talk about those changes. But for now, we don't see any of those changes. So we're sticking with what we see at the moment. So that's it from us, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed your week. Enjoyed the rest of your week and your weekend. And yeah, we'll catch you guys back again on Monday. Cheers, everyone.